Boxing Truth here. Just a prediction video for another super middleweight matchup that's not getting much buzz. Hardly anybody's talking about it. Everyone's excited about Groves Eubank Jr. tomorrow, and rightfully so. It's a big fight, great storyline, trash talk, entertaining press conferences. That fight pretty much has it all. Intensity. But this fight between Benavidez and Gavril, it has a lot of intensity in his own right. It's personal on a level because Benavidez pretty much was enticed, was pushed into this rematch because of the trash talk of Gavril's team, his promoter, Mayweather Promotions, the delusion that they feel that Gavril actually won the fight, which is laughable in his own right. Benavidez was the clear and truthful winner, rightful winner of their first bout. It was competitive. Gavril really tested Benavidez's gas tank, tested his mental strength. You know, he hung in there with Benavidez. Was the first opponent to really give Benavidez somewhat of a fight. So the rematch to me is unnecessary because Benavidez clearly won the first fight. Two judges gave it to him by at least 5 or 6 points. And what's funny is Adelaide Bird was one of those judges, and she had Benavidez winning the fight 116-111. So she had the right cards, the right scorecard, the right winner, and around the right margin of how he won the fight. Benavidez won at least 8 to 9 rounds of that fight. Even in the round he got knocked down, then he was winning the round. So Benavidez won a clear-cut unanimous decision and possibly his most competitive fight to date. But now the rematch is here. There's a lot of intensity between the two fighters. Benavidez wants to prove a point, wants to prove to the naysayers and to Mayweather's team and Gavril's team that he was the true winner and that he's going to put on even more of a clear-cut performance in the rematch. He's pretty much going to say he's going to knock Gavril the fuck out. He's going to put more punishment. He's going to punish him even more. He's going to put more of a beating on him this time, and this time Gavril won't see the final bell. Now, Benavidez, he's looking razor sharp, looking very explosive. He could possibly be the best super middleweight in the world. Unfortunately, he may not have the chance to ever prove that. He's 20 years old. He's the current WC super middleweight champion of the world. And when you ask yourself, would you honestly favor Groves or Eubank to beat this kid? I'm not too sure about that. Benavidez, he's still a work in progress. He's still developing. He's still not a finished product yet. But man, he's already a handful at 20 years of age. All he needs to work on is, he's got some defensive holes, and his jab is not as authoritative as I would like. But man, he does everything else very well. Very powerful, very fast, throws great combinations, has every punch in the book except the jab, which is not as lethal as I would like it to be. He can go 12 rounds. He can put a whooping on his opponents. He's very physical. A big super middleweight with power and speed. And he's only getting better and better. And with that experience under his belt with Gavril, that's just going to make him a better fighter. Gavril is the more mature of the two fighters in his early 30s. Pretty good fighter, solid boxing fundamentals. Likes to stand in the pocket, has very good technique, leads behind the jab, has a nice stick to the body, likes to test your gas tank, and he's pretty sturdy as well. Was able to withstand. I mean, he got hurt on more than one occasion against Benavidez, but he was able to last the distance, was able to answer some questions about Benavidez, his gas tank. He was able to make Benavidez question his power in the fight, but he did get hurt, did take a whooping, did take some physical damage, and who knows how good of a fighter he is now after that pounding he took for a majority of the fight against Benavidez. So that type of fight, at his age, I think he's about 31, could take something out of you. And Benavidez is still fresh, so has a lot more to give. But this fight may steal the night, at least on that card, since that card is hardly getting any buzz. It's a lot of boxing this Saturday. The David Alexander Victor Ortiz fight is also being showcased on Fox. No one gives a shit about that fight. No one's really excited about Brandon Rios, Danny Garcia, since Garcia is a huge favorite. Benavidez is a significant favorite over Gavril. But this is a good fight for Benavidez to put a stamp on this grudge match with Gavril. Show him that he's truly better, but not only show him that he can outpoint him and beat him over a 12-round distance, but that he can knock him out and put on the finishing touches on a performance that he wasn't able to knock out Gavril the last time. I expect another good fight between the two. Their styles mesh well together. They stand right in front of each other. They're in the pocket, and they pretty much try to demonstrate to each other who has the better hands. Gavril, he has the better work rate of the two. He's not as explosive, not as big a puncher, so he can steal rounds if he's outworking Benavidez and landing more punches. But on the flip side, Benavidez is way more explosive, much more powerful, faster, much flashier with his punches, much sharper, but he can't match Gavril's work rate because he's much more powerful, more explosive, and it's hard to have a high volume of punches when you're throwing those type of explosive punches. So he's gonna not be as active as Gavril, but Gavril, he doesn't have the power to hurt Benavidez, not seriously hurt him. The knockdown in the 12th round was an off-balance shot. He wasn't hurt, got caught off guard and was off balance and got dropped for a split second. Wasn't a very serious knockdown, it was just a flash knockdown. So Benavidez is definitely the harder puncher of the two. He's the more talented fighter physically, more explosive, just a better athlete. Gavril, he has a better work rate, a better jab. He's able to fight every second of every round, but he's outgunned in the power department. And this time he's going to be fighting a champion in Benavidez that he was crowned in the last fight. So the confidence he's going to get from just being strapped up by WC is going to make him 20% a better fighter. Gavril is going to have to improve on that performance where he was, in my opinion, definitively defeated. And now he's going to be fighting a much more confident David Benavidez. And this time around, Benavidez, he's going to be more confident. He's going to be more motivated to go in there and put a whooping on Ronald Gavril. The fight's in Las Vegas. Once again, it's important for Benavidez to not only dominate, but to get the result that he really craves, and that's to knock Gavril out, because Mayweather is the house promoter here. Gavril's his guy, and Adelaide Bird is reportedly judging the second fight, though there are contrary reports to that. But if you look on BoxRec, her name is listed as one of the judges. But she did score the first fight for Benavidez. So it's Las Vegas officials, Las Vegas judges. It's in the best interest of Benavidez to make sure this fight not goes a distance, and if it does, he has to win every round and win in convincing fashion, because there could be some fishy scorecards. There were some wacky scores in the first fight. One judge actually gave it to Gavril by a wide margin, which was not the fight that I saw or many people didn't see. So I expect another intense battle between these two. It's going to be another good fight, but Benavidez is going to be much more motivated. He's going to be more confident, more explosive. He's looking really good, and this time he's going to be too much, too big, too strong, too good for Gavril to last a distance this time. It's going to be another ass whooping Gavril's going to have to endure, and this time he's not going to see the final bell. Benavidez will stop Gavril within 8 rounds in a wowing, dominant, and damn good explosive performance a performance that can translate into people saying that he is the true best super middleweight in the world. But being on the PBC Showtime side, he may not ever get a chance to prove it, as fights with Zurdo Ramirez and the winner of the World Boxing Super Series seems like pure fantasy right now. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.